I am
Blunners
going to
first.
pass over the controls to Blunners as to what our next topic is. Oh, Switch 2 impressions. So, did we talk about this on ModCons? I can't remember.
No, well, we spoke about what we thought was coming and basically what we thought happened.
And this is what we got. This is the Switch 2, the elusive console that everybody knew about, effectively knew exactly what it looked like. We knew what the logo looked like. We knew everything about it. And for some reason, I thought maybe these are just terrible leaks and what we're going to get is going to be totally different. And no, turns out it was exactly as stated. I will give my thoughts and impressions on it at the end. So let's go to Blunners because you're another resident Nintendo hardcore fan. So Switch 2, what do you think?
Yeah, just quickly, I'm annoyed at you, Nintendo, you bastards. They didn't let me have my I went and applied to enter the lottery to go and actually play this in London, and I got declined. I
Oh,
got an email yesterday saying sorry, you haven't made the cut. So I'm fuming. But no, yeah, it's day one. It's obviously I'm going to be getting it day one anyway. Everything we thought was true is true. They've made the controllers bigger. It looks like they've sorted out the analogs as well.
Mhm.
They even done like a little video bit, didn't they, of the analog going round? Yeah, more of the same. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, you don't really know what the difference is. Obviously, the controllers are bigger. There's a secret C button hidden somewhere. There's rumors you can use it as an actual mouse. It's magnetic. They're actually magnetic, so it clicks in. The screen's 8 inches as well, apparently, and it's going to be able to run a lot more stuff. Like it's just an upgrade that we needed, basically, because what was happening is all the latest games obviously weren't coming out on the Switch because it wasn't powerful enough, and everything in there was over 8 years old. You're running on 8-year-old processors and stuff, so it did need a good refresh and regroup. So, um, yeah, I only think all well, obviously I'm getting anyway, but it all comes down to I think of the issues they had with the Wii U. If you're looking at the word Wii U, people didn't realize that it wasn't. It was actually a new console to the Wii, whereas this one says Switch 2 is actually like it. Do you know what I mean? Proofs and pudding. This is number 2. It's just a hardware upgrade, to be honest. And if the actual form factor is not, they've upgraded everything that was like kind of broken, like the clips that you constantly go in and out on the rails. Like I'm a Joy-Con expert, so I had to take all my Joy-Cons apart, change out my analogs, change out the clips to metal ones so they don't just rub off, so that you can't just push it, it flies off. So I think they've gone, you know what, just magnetic them in, they'll just click straight in, can't take them out. I think people are a bit worried about, like, if you can see on the side of the Switch there, it has that little like bit that's going to click into your analog. People are worried that if your Switch goes at an angle, will that snap off? So, do you know what I mean? If your controller comes out and breaks, will that snap that bit there in the middle, which is connects to the Joy-Con? But I think they've obviously learned from the mistakes of the Switch, and they've changed it all. Obviously, kickstand, analogs, the controllers clicking in. But yeah, oh, see, he's put here. Try again tomorrow. There is a second round. Yeah, I will try again, but fingers crossed I'll get there. But yeah, I like you said, I was quite happy with everything we saw. I don't want it to be. Do you know what I mean? That's the gimmick of it. Is it's hybrid. It works. It's sold a lot. So I think doing this is just upgrading it is kind of what it needed. I don't. It's a bit weird for Nintendo. I think this is the first time they've ever put a 2 behind a mainline console,
Yep.
other than like your 3DS that went down to a 2DS. Other than that, do you know what I mean? They've all come out different, haven't they?
Yep.
So this is different for Nintendo, but I think it's because they've got a newer generation of people behind the scenes now that realised obviously the massive flaw they had in the Wii U. I think they're just trying not to go down them same steps. Do you know what I mean? The Wii sold bucket loads,
Yep.
the Wii U flopped. So I think that's what they're trying to do. But yeah, all good for me.
Excellent. Tim, what did you think? Did you like what
Yeah.
you saw?
Yeah, it's interesting to see Nintendo do a follow-up console and actually do a 2, because they have a complete redesign normally. I mean, the closest thing was, Wii U from a Wii, but it's still very different design, isn't it? The gamepad and everything. And then if you look at like the SNES to the GameCube to the Wii U, then to the Switch, to now have a Switch 2 is like, okay, we're sticking with this model. Prefer the clip-on Joy-Cons, like Blunner said. I've seen some people talk about online already. So I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity, right? I reckon what they should have done is had it so you could also tilt the screen upright and still click the controllers on the other way around, and then play games in like Tate mode and things like that, or have split screen for like playing DS ROMs on the App Store and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, the actual design of a Switch is great. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what kind of quality games come out with a better hardware, because it's weird to think the current generation of consoles doesn't feel that old to me. And like to hear people starting talking about like the even Switch 2, or like looking about, we might get another PlayStation in a couple of years.
Mm.
Yeah, actually console generation is normally like 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And like we're getting to that point. I was like, but it doesn't feel like they've been around that long. They don't really have that. But the Switch, I think, has actually really lasted well. Like the Switch still feels relevant now.
The Switch U.
The Switch U.
The Switcheroo.
The Switcheroo 2, Electric
I like that
Boogaloo.
one.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for the
Super
games to come out on it. I think, if we get a new, like Nintendo will do the thing, we'll get a new Mario Kart, get a new Super Smash Brothers, get a new Zelda.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the
but
rumor.
what else can it do? Are we going to then get like games coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch a bit more now, if it can handle those better games? And the thing with Switch as well, whenever I see a game that's available on all the platforms, I often think, if I get it on the Switch, I'll be able to play it on handheld and docked, compared to playing it on like Xbox or PlayStation. So I think it has got a bit of an edge if it can play the higher quality games and run at a higher spec.
The rumors I heard is it could be, fingers crossed, PS4 spec.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's. I'm excited for it. I probably won't be getting it at launch. I'll probably keep an eye on the reviews and see what people think about it, and maybe hang around for a few games to come out and then look at deals and stuff. But yeah, I really like the Nintendo Switch. It's a very good console. This looks good too.
Yep. I'm not going to be able to add a great deal to what you guys have already said. I feel like Nintendo have really sort of tapped into their gaming market now. I think they've found a way to continue what they've effectively pioneered with the Switch, because the Switch is a bit of a pioneering console, really. Being able to take it away, being able to dock it, being able to have 2 controllers in the box at launch, all these kind of cool little Nintendo-y things that they've done with it. So, as Tess said earlier, if it's not broken, don't fix it. There's no need for Nintendo to come up with a brand new, different system, especially like you said, Tim. The Switch is still selling. People are still buying that Nintendo Switch. People are still buying games on the Switch. There are still, as Seam says there's people are still pumping out indie games on the Switch. I mean, it became the console that was like PS2. It's like, I'll just put it on Switch. All the games, apart from obviously all your big AAA big hitters, but they have still been able to put things like Hogwarts Legacy on it. All right, there's a whopping great update that comes with it, but they have managed to do it. Things like Doom and Doom Eternal, like they are on there. They're not the best versions. They have had to substitute graphical quality in certain areas, but you can still play them. You can play Doom 2017 on the go on a Switch, and it plays well. So there are incredible things that have happened with the Switch, and I think really when you look at the numbers of how many units the Switch has sold, yes, you could argue it's had a slightly longer lifespan than something like a PS4 or an Xbox One, but maybe that's what things like PlayStation and Xbox should be doing. Give your consoles the full lease of life that they have to reach their full potential, and then when it's ready, when that jump is going to be that wow jump, then start releasing the systems. Because I'm looking at some of the games that I've been playing on PlayStation 5 even recently, things like Stellar Blade, even things like Lords of the Fallen, and all of these really big, incredible games that look stunning. All I keep thinking in my head was, imagine if that was a launch title. That would have blown my brains out. And maybe that's what they need to be thinking, especially while people are still buying PS5s and buying games for it. Like, don't just put out the PlayStation 6 because you think you need to refresh it or do whatever, especially seeing as like plenty of games are still coming out on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I don't
Even
feel
more
like
so
we've
Xbox
had a
as well. Like, I still haven't made the jump to Series X because the one still feels quite relevant to me.
and we can come to Xbox a little bit later on, because I don't think, unless you've got a huge Xbox back catalogue of original Xbox and 360 games, I don't think you need to be buying a Series X at all, in my opinion. And we can come to that in a moment. But Switch 2,
Well,
for
I
me...
say-
Sorry, go on.
No, sorry, yeah, finish, mate. And I'll...
Yeah, I was going to say, so Switch 2 for me, like Blanners, it's going to be a day one pickup. I think the roster of games that comes out, I think the launch for this system is going to be strong, because if you think, even if it's running PS4 hardware, think of the third-party games that people are going to be able to go, do you know what? We could put that on Switch 2 and sell another 3 million copies. All these games that are a few years old can just get another brand new lease of life. And I think Nintendo have managed to find a really good niche here with this system, in having brand new Nintendo titles. The rumor is it's going to be able to play the new Metal Gear game. So that's going to be cool, especially if that's true. I think it's cool. I think it's a great niche. I agree with Tess. Don't change it. There's no point in changing the design. The design works. Just make it better. So that's what they've done, and I'm all in for it.
I think when we talk about, console wars and stuff, it always seems to be it's Xbox versus PlayStation, but no one's competing with Nintendo. Nintendo are just doing their own thing. It's like, some people be like, right, they want to go Sony or Microsoft, but they'll still get a Switch. It's like, and how many households have more than one Switch? Like, I know plenty of people that've got they've got a Switch, their wife's got a Switch, their kids got a Switch, and like, you wouldn't have like 3 or 4 Xboxes in your house, would you?
No.
At one point, I had 3 in my house.
Yeah.
I got 2, but like I was about to say, obviously people have been doing deep dive into the videos, and obviously that is a new Mario Kart game, because the karts are different and Donkey Kong is different. He is the same as he is in the movies, the cartoon movie. So they've re-rendered. It's a completely different Donkey Kong looking now. So obviously this is now what everyone's thinking. And then they're also looked at the grids. Grid had about 24 lines on it. So is this going to be a massive online multiplayer? Is this going to be like they did with F-Zero, like the loser drops out? Do you know what I mean? Is this like, it just opens up, the possibilities are just endless. Obviously it's a different course as well. The carts were different, so it looked fantastic as well. So, but for me, if they had like a fully online, like Mario Kart 99 or something like they've had like with Tetris, Mario 1 and F-Zero, that would be phenomenal. Can you imagine if it was just like a day one, just like free to play as long as you've got their
That'd be
online?
great.
Do you know what I mean? With just a few courses that they can just add to, because I think they don't need, with like what they did. We haven't had a new Mario Kart in years. Like, this is the Wii U one ported over. They added on to like a ton of tracks. It's got like 90 something tracks now, with all the downloads and stuff you can buy. So is this the way that they're going to go? Like, look, this is the Mario Kart app, and every couple of years or every year or something, we're going to add some new cups with like all these new courses on it. So yeah, and I'll just move my cursor out of the way, actually. So yeah, so I just saw this as we were saying about Switch 2 being able to play other stuff. Mr. Spencer himself has confirmed that Xbox will support Switch 2.
Yep.
And he congratulated Nintendo's president. So, do you know what I mean? It is, if it's able, I don't want, as long as it's not in the cloud streaming rubbish, it's got to be actual, like, playing it properly. Like, you can download it onto your device, then I'll be well happy about that.
Yeah. It's, I mean, we may as well just move, because this is going to
I'll move on to
segue.